Hey guys, got a capture the base match here on Atlantic. Kind of one of my least favorite map mode combos. Especially if, like in this game, you do not have a destroyer on either team. We got 4 cruisers, 4 battleships, and a carrier on each team. Yeah, and honestly, particularly that carrier is really limiting our options. You can see we spawn on the weak flank, which hashtag always the weak flank. And the carrier looks like he's coming right for me here, but he's actually going for the Hawk behind me. But you can see I'm already having to maneuver to avoid the possibility of his attack. It is a Saipan, which means it will hurt if it hits. So yeah, I would love to be, over on heading west, but since we spawned on the weak flank, the Hawk is leaving. There is a CV. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was in a division with 2 other ships, so my just minimum assumption is he at least somewhat knows what he's doing. So even in a Baltimore, which has quite good AA for a cruiser, if I go off by myself into the flank, I'm not going to have any spotting, and the carrier will be able to just do whatever he wants to me. Additionally, if you abandon your base, that's always a bad idea in capture the base, because if you don't defend it, you can't really assume that anyone else will either. So I generally try not to get too far on the flanks, even though I do like running to the flanks. I like playing the flanks. I find that you can get crossfires, you can minimize the amount of ships that you are engaged with. Yeah, and just pull off some sneaky shenanigans. But in this map, with this match setup, it's not really an option. At least not a realistic one. You could definitely risk it and run over there and get a pretty big payoff, but you could also just get stuck by yourself, and I think in this case I would have. You'll see my team kind of continues the gravity pool over there to the east. I would have been alone, even more alone. I'm already kind of alone, but I would have been more alone. I go ahead and just start firing. This is another of those matches. I've had a lot of these recently where I don't even get to fire my guns for the first several minutes of the match. But the Bismarck has 15-inch guns. Baltimore bounces 15-inch shells, so ready to get going on that. You can see some floaty shells, I believe, coming from Helena towards the back of the map. But yeah, doing some work on Bismarck, but honestly, it's a drop in the bucket. Still just kind of playing the mid spot. You can see, I don't know that those guys are AFK, but they're not really moving. I actually know that one of them is AFK, which is disappointing, and I think might have actually decided this match. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, you can see, hashtag always the weak flank. Their whole team is not their whole team, but the majority of their team, so 1, 2, 3, 4 surface ships are wheeling this way. It's like 1, 2, 3 are wheeling the other way. Yay, Citadel! And obviously the CV can play the whole map because he's a CV. So yeah, I'm really would love for someone to help come over to this side and slow this down. Lucky for me, neither of these battleships coming have 16-inch guns to overmatch. But these cruisers behind the island can just as easily shoot at me as the rest of the team, which they are generally just burning them down right now. But I am trying to get some shots over the island. That is one of the nice things about these slower American shells, is you can pull off some over-island shots that you probably wouldn't with anyone else, wouldn't be able to with any other ship. Not getting great damage, but something. You can see this is a San Diego. It's not playing. And here I am, riding with my tail between my legs. I, again, don't generally like to do this. But yeah, even being able to bounce the shells of these ships, especially with the cruisers coming, I would not be able to stand up to these battleships for very long. So at this point, this is just, I'm trying to make the best of a suboptimal situation here, especially if I get into Bismarck's secondary range. Even though they're not going to chew me up instantly, like they'll, at best, they will eat up a lot of my health. And I know I'm going to need that health, especially because as my team continues to go the other way, even though we can see that their team is coming this way. I think now, yeah, there are 5 surface ships on this side. I think my team is not liking the HE spam that's coming from that middle island, but honestly, they're kind of doing the exact wrong thing. They're getting further away to let those ships lob shells over the island. They might actually be better off being closer. That island is quite high, and they wouldn't be able to shoot over the island. But so far, I've actually only taken, I think, maybe one pin from the Bismarck. Richelieu is a great target to shoot with 203 HE, so I am just trying to slow these things down. I'm not going to eat through 2 battleships of health in anytime soon. And if I get a bunch of fires and pins, like, it's just, they got a lot of health. Here I am on the mic, really just trying to ask my team for help. I get some, but you'll see in a minute, not exactly the way that I would prefer. I'm trying to keep my angles here. I definitely have been burned too many times in the past by getting just not even careless with the angle, but just a little bit over. One of those French shells or the Bismarck shells will sneak in. And you definitely don't want to do that, especially because I know I got to 5 ships, so I need all my health as much as possible. So this is just keep doing this, Man, food drift. Why, dude? Okay, fine. I'm gonna stop back up. Then look at this. He blocks me. And then he goes forward to, like, make sure I can't move anymore, but it's fine. At least I didn't get stuck. That's the worst, is when you hit another ship and get stuck. They have fixed that so it's not as bad as it was at one point, but it still does occasionally happen, and you're just like, oof. He's got no health. He's going down. CV's trying to drop on him. RNG did not favor him. That drop. Hint, hint. Yeah, alright, Richelieu's down. Okay, actually, so now we got a little bit of support. This is actually looking a lot better now. Got Bismarck. The Fudra's going to go down, but I love my odds against the Bismarck and Helena more than I do against a full health Richelieu, full health Bismarck. I can see I'm targeted, but I'm just going to go ahead and turn. I think I can make the turn before Bismarck shells get to me. And again, kind of at this point, if I don't turn around, the base is going to cap. The Helena can go dark. Honestly, even the Bismarck could go dark, and I wouldn't be able to spot either of them. So yeah, now I got to turn around. I'm getting these long-range shells on Helena. He's a little bit angled, but he is showing way too much side. Probably for pretty much any ship, but especially for American heavy cruisers. So yeah, I'm going to start getting some pretty good chunks on him. Bismarck, I'm going to try to make sure we reset every now and then. Yeah, ooh, nice hit there. Knocked his engine. That's good. Let's see if we can get rid of the Helena. I am backing up here because I do still want to keep distance from the Bismarck secondaries. If he's got a full secondary build, they will hit almost 12 kilometers. I think maybe if you're all in on range, it might hit 12, the base Bismarck. So yeah, I'm trying to watch my spacing, but also not get too far away. Let him cap the base for free, because if he turns around and goes to the end, I'm not going to be able to reset him. I have to go back in anyway. Just more pew pew, pew 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 pew. Keep my shots. Those floaty shells are sometimes hard to aim. I'm also not the best. Been working on it. Gotten a little better. But still, sometimes they just turn and you don't predict where they're going to turn, and they just don't hit, or you get RNG. I think I've got, yeah, I think that was the second fire. If he's running fight fire with fire, I do not want to put the fires out, but then he nose in, so I might as well shoot HE. Anyway, go, hello, American AP, got a decent hit anyway. Hey, the Parsifal gets a good hit. Alright, so we actually managed to clear that side. I'm kind of amazed. I got just enough help to clear it out. And if there's one positive thing to take out of this video, it's that by me staying alive, slowing down that flank, even though at one point it really was 5v1, my team did eventually turn around, gave me some help. The Fudra was low health, but, bless him, he did a little bit, and then the Parsifal comes back, sinks the Bismarck. I think this mines off to our left here was also helping. Again, in the midst of it, I'm not 100% sure what ships were shooting, but we definitely did get help because there was resets on the Helena. I think the mines was shooting the Helena, so we were getting some help, even though it felt like we were not maybe so much in the match itself. But yeah, if you can stay alive, stay relevant, and if you look at my health, like I really didn't take much damage during those engagements. That is one of the things I love about the tier 7 American heavy cruisers is you actually have a decent chance of matching with battleships that can't overmatch you, and it's amazing how strong a tanky cruiser can be in a setup like that. So here, these cruisers you can see at the very edge of my range. It looks like if they head back towards the west, I might be able to get some shots on them, but I'm just kind of holding my fire right now. Because I don't really want to be spotted until I think my shells will get there. Trying to get some shots on the Cleveland. Kept hoping that he would turn out and kept AP loaded. We are actually up on ships right now, but just kind of based on how this game has gone, I still feel like we're behind. You can see, I think that's the mines, is really low on health. There's CV. Yeah, this is kind of one of the end of this match is just the real reason that I really don't like playing against carriers. And I think this is what happens to a lot of people. They're like, oh, battleship mains, just move. No ship that's moving. But it's like, this scenario is where carriers make me rage. I have maintained my health the whole match. I have managed my engagements with positioning. And now, you know, I can see these cruisers that are left. They're all relatively low health. No one is spotting me. I've got cover from them. Like, this is the thing that I specifically enjoy about this game, is it's more long-term strategic rather than just action. But then here comes the carrier. He has no risk to himself. You can see he actually does have some partial squadrons, so he's taken some, but holy moly, that hit! Ow! I am trying to get around this island because we are at this point behind on points. So I actually do need to engage the ships. I don't have the luxury of going full evasion mode, even though I am trying to evade a little bit, but my rudder is just, you know, if Baltimore has a 7-second rudder, I'm just not able to dodge everything. You see, he's only got 2 planes in this drop squad, but Saipan gets 2 torpedoes per plane. Tight spread, I'm trying to squeeze right in there, but I take 1. I have to, well, I feel like I have to repair that, mostly because of the speed decrease on the floods. Because again, I have to get these ships. We were behind on points. We lost that battleship. I honestly wish he had just stayed behind an island. And then again, triple fire and like 10,000 drop from the carrier. Ow! Come on! Now I'm going AP because it's like, I know this is done. I get, you know, go a little high. I actually should have aimed a little forward to get more in the nose, but in the heat of the moment, I just couldn't, and just, God, I'm so annoyed by how fast that carrier took me out. It's like, yeah, that could have happened with any other ship. You know, you get caught out of position, they're going to do damage. But the fact that every other ship in the game would have to at least see me to engage, and I would have a chance to fight back, is so frustrating. Sure, you can make the argument that I could have dodged better, I could have dodged more. I personally think that because of the time limit, I really just had to go in. You know, I wasn't literally sailing in a straight line. I did turn towards the torpedoes because you can't just eat those. Man, that is such a frustrating way to end a match where we almost came back and won it. So we'll just let the time run out. 16 more seconds. At one point in there, I was spamming our friendly CV. He's in the very back of the map. He should have been moving up with me a long time ago, and I really needed him to drop fighters on me to at least give me a fighting chance. You know, if you're a CV, that's definitely one of your jobs. Don't sit at the back of the map. Use your fighters defensively on your ships. So you can see, he did all right. 2,000 base XP and a loss. Dang, I hate carriers.